My name is Marian Bailey, and I am a self-taught visual artist and a community builder. I am originally from Grand Rapids, Michigan, so the Midwest, about like right here on the mitten. I lived there until I was around like 17, and then my family moved down to North Carolina, and I lived there for a bit, went to college down there, and then moved up to Philly about 4.5 years ago. Once I got to Philly and started really like pursuing art and like developing my art, I was just like, oh, I like being here.
Wow.
That's Big Carl.
This is Big Carl.
Yeah.
Yo, you got a hammock out here?
Yeah, too, baby. You want to sit?
Oh, I do.
Obviously, like, I make art and like do all of that good stuff, but I also like to make space for people. I have like a climbing club that I created for people of color, and so that is just like a really big part of my life as well. And I just like making space for folks to feel comfortable and welcome and have a good time. I've been making art since I was a little kid. Like, it started off being really into photography and then just kind of like doing things with my hands, and it's just like ramped up from there. And so I started off like thinking small and like making small paintings, and like seeing those just like build on top of each other and things just get like bigger and bigger. It's just like really fun too, because I'm just like, who would have thought like that I could go from like painting something this big to something that's like, you know, 10 feet tall, however many feet wide. And it's just like, yeah, that came out of my brain too, which is also cool, because I'm just like, if you were to open my head and look inside, if that was something that you could do and you could see more than just a squiggly brain, it would just be like a lot of like movement and color and just like chaos. I went to like a predominantly white high school, and so I was not considered desirable, so that really let me hone in on my social skills and like being funny and stuff. And then once I got to college, it just kept growing from there, and I was just like, I just feel like more comfortable who I am. I know what I'm capable of. I know what I deserve, and that definitely came a bit later, probably like right after college, and just like navigating the world. Like, you finished college, you're an adult now, so like what does that mean? And just like getting more in tune with like Black history in America, and just being like more aware of like the things that our people have just like continue to have to go through, and how we're like still here and still, you know, persevering. Some people are doing well, some people aren't, and just like working to like really address those things. That helped me better understand myself and understand my relationships with other people, and also getting over some of my like own insecurities and realizing that a lot of that just stems from like white supremacy. And I was like, one thing we're not gonna do is let white supremacy like make me feel bad about who I am. And so like once I kind of like unlocked all of those things, I was just like, oh, it's not popping. Like, community building is something that's just like been very close to my heart. I grew up in like a pretty religious environment, and a part of that is just having that community, like having people that understand where you're coming from and like what you're about, and kind of have the same like ethos, all of that good stuff. And so as someone who doesn't really consider themselves to be especially like religious anymore, like I've always still been like searching out for what that community is, and I know a lot of other people kind of like struggle with that as well. So one of the ways in which I like build that is I co-created a POC climbing club. So like people of color coming together, climbing in spaces that are very white and not always very inclusive and accepting. And so I wanted to make space for people like myself, and that has just been like really incredible. Like, we've been going pretty strong for 2 years, like even through the pandemic. Like, we weren't really seeing people in person, but like had like our messages and our group messages going, and like really being there to support people through just like a tough time. Like, pandemic has been rough. And so we've had like meetups here and there. We've kind of like kicked things back up, but countless people just like coming to me, being like very thankful. People who are there towards the beginning, still making friends and having friends through like this group, and being like, when I was like first getting started here in Philly, like I didn't really have any friends, and I didn't know if I like wanted to stay here or like what this was going to be, and then I like came across your group, and I've met and made like so many cool friends that have become like my family here in Philly. So I want folks who are coming in to feel like, okay, like this is where I can just breathe and like chill and just be who I am.